Hey everybody, thanks again for tuning in to T&K NoCo Auto Talk. I'm T, and on today's episode, we are out here in beautiful Loveland, Colorado. We are again back at Brandon Dodge. They have invited us back for a second time. We couldn't be more excited. On today's episode, we have the beautiful 2025 Jeep Wagoneer S. All right, Kay, so what do you think about exploring this Jeep Wagoneer S?
I can't wait. I'm excited. I've wanted to get my hands on one of these for a very long time. Now's my chance. And we have it in this beautiful Hydro Blue. Just can't wait to share it with you guys.
Awesome, guys. Let's dive in. All right, Kate. So let's take a look at the exterior of this vehicle. Of course, again, we've got this in the beautiful Hydro Blue Pearl Coat exterior paint. I do believe that paint color is an extra almost $600, but it is a very, very nice paint color. We've got our headlights here. They're bifunction LED premium reflector headlamps with LED fog lamps. So that's nice, streamlined, sleek look in the front. Looks very aggressive. I really like the front end of this vehicle. The front flash is very nice. And then, of course, we've got our PDC sensors there along the front for all of our safety enhancements as well. You have any comments on the front of the vehicle?
It's beautiful. I mean, what can I say? It's got that classic, but modern, updated 7-slotted grille that Jeep is known for.
Yes.
And I don't know if the camera picked it up very well, but they actually light up. So at night, you can see.
Yep.
You can still count.
That's that reflective, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to give that a nice nighttime ambiance, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
In so many words, just to kind of give it a cool, more animated look, so to speak.
Right.
But yeah, let's move on down the side of this baby here. So we've got, I think these are, let's double check. I want to say these are all season tires.
Yep, 235, 50, R20.
Yep, sitting on 20s. Yep. The wheel design is kind of interesting. Something that you would expect for an electrified vehicle. They always have to have something to stand out different from an ICE, right? So it's usually the shape of the body, the grills, obviously the wheels. It's an interesting take. Probably not my most favorite design, but it looks interesting. What do you think?
I like it. Obviously, it's got like the black plastic to fill in the gaps, make it a little more aerodynamic. But altogether, I love the style of the wheels. Obviously, it will look better without the black plastic in there. But I think it's a great design.
And you are right. You did bring up a point. The main reason why these are closed in and not open, obviously, I would like the more open look. This is supposed to help with aerodynamics.
Right.
Anything with an electric vehicle, the more efficient you can make it or the more efficient you can be, the better it's going to be for you in the long run, right? Because it's all about achieving range, achieving longevity for your drives, things like that. So it's crazy how the engineers or engineering teams are thinking of all these little things to put the car together.
Yeah, I was going to say, for some people, it might seem like splitting hairs, but when you're trying to squeeze out every bit of efficiency out of the vehicle, that's kind of what you have to do.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's mind-boggling to me. It's crazy. But we got our Wagoneer badging down here along the side. Nicely spaced out, nice big letters. I do like the look of that. It's very classy. Our rocker panel down here at the bottom is nice, like a piano black. So that's a nice sleek look. The black against the blue really pops. With the tinted windows, so nice. Yeah. Factory tint too, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously electric vehicle, you've got flush mounted door handles.
Yep.
Obviously there's a touch sensitive pad in there that you just press on, pops the door open.
Yep. And then we've got our cover here. So this is going to be for your charging. And also you've got your fast charge down here. That pops off for your fast charge accessibility. Very cool. Moving along the back, we've got a very nice, sleek rear end of the vehicle with our LED tail lamps as well. Oh, go ahead and get a shot of that, Kay. I just wanted to point something else out here real quick. And I can actually point it out as you swoop around here. Just wanted to note this cool Wagoneer S badging here on the side.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Now, this vehicle doesn't have one, but it has basically two spoilers in the back. So again, efficiency, aerodynamics, this basically has a pass-through. So that's really cool. From the side profile, it looks like a solid piece. It doesn't look like it has to pass through. So I like that kind of incognito, like a baby Range Rover or something like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. From the side, it looks like your typical SUV. But when you look at it through the back, you can see that it's actually sloped
Yes.
a lot more than you would expect. It's
Yes.
got more of like a, I guess they would call it a teardrop profile. But with that spoiler there, it looks typical, which is nice. I actually like that.
Yes. So this is a very sleek, very intricate, small, I guess medium-sized SUV. Basically, it's between a Compass and a Grand Cherokee. I like to think of it maybe as like a Compass on steroids. It's a little bit beefed up, a little bit amped up. But yeah, this is a good sized vehicle, right?
Yeah, I think it's great for city driving, easy to park. I mean, it's great size. It's, I think, what people are looking for. I think Jeep nailed it with this one.
Yeah, this is a very sleek ride, and with any of their newer models that'll be coming out, it'll definitely be interesting to see how they carry on this new design formula towards any new vehicles they have going forward.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I think the sleek design is a plus for Jeep.
Yep.
I really, really like that a lot.
For me.
Yep. All right, man. What do you say we take a peek under the hood?
Yeah, let's
see what's going on under there.
Awesome. All right, T. So the people want to know. Frunk or no frunk?
Let's find out. Let's see what's under this. We have a frunk.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yep. So we've got ample storage space for some items there. I guess this also comes in all of these too. So if you wanted to utilize that for organization, I guess you can keep that in there or take it out. It's just a foam padding basically. And really the only other access that your average driver, I found an Easter egg. So you need to come get a shot of this real quick. It's like an old school Jeep, like Model T style, like back in the day. Did you get that on the camera really good?
Yep.
Nice, that's cool. But yeah, your average driver just basically has access to your washer fluid reservoir because anything else up under this vehicle will probably kill you. So you don't want to touch that, but leave it to the experts.
Right. Well, I mean, since we're under the hood, we might as well talk about power specs.
Yeah, most definitely. I got some information here. So since this is the limited S, this one is 500 horsepower at 524 foot-pounds of torque. The 0 to 60 on this guy is about just under 4 seconds. Now, of course, we also have the launch edition, which we aren't reviewing today, but we wanted to give that comparison. The launch edition achieves 600 horsepower at 617 pound-feet of torque, and that 0 to 60 is about 3.4 seconds. So what's really cool about this is that they both run, and the same as on the Charger, they all run on the same 400-volt, battery system. But what makes this horsepower different is going to be what power is going to that, or what is providing that horsepower, and that's coming from those electric drive motors. So on our limited, we've got a 150 kilowatt electric drive motor on the front and a 250 kilowatt EDM on the rear, compared to the launch edition, which has 250 kilowatts on the front and the rear. So that's how that's achieving that 600 horsepower.
Gotcha.
Just 100 more horsepower, but you can still, feel a difference.
I mean, what's 100 horses?
What's 100 horses? But good thing is, if you got the limited S and you love the way it drives, but you like, I just want to feel a little extra. There is talk about there being an over-the-air update coming out late summer for the limited S that will give you the 600 horsepower. It's going to be called a propulsion boost package. I don't know if there's going to be a cost to that or not. I don't know anything about what that looks like, but that's something for owners of the Limited to maybe keep an eye out on. I'm sure you'll maybe get an update through your infotainment or something like that. We'll let you know that that's available. And then you can get 600 horsepower out of this puppy.
It's wild that you can do that with basically the press of a button.
Hey, man, I've been saying this for a long time now. Computers on wheels. That's basically what we have, right? I mean, it's essentially like your smartphone, right? You can get updates to that at any point in time when the manufacturer or the company is preparing updates and sending things out. Push of a button. Yeah. Magic happens.
And I guess kind of along those lines, we should note that this does ride on that same Stella Large architecture.
Yes, correct.
Found on the Charger EVs.
Yes, correct. Yep.
So this is a platform made of that vehicle.
Yes.
And I'm sure it'll be, well, I guess their expectation is to use that across the board on all their vehicles going forward in the future.
Yes, I do think so. Yep.
Because they also allow for not only electric vehicles, but they also allow for ICE motors as well.
Yep.
So there are 2 ICE Chargers coming out in the future.
Right.
2 and 4-door variants of that.
So. Yep, exactly. And it just makes the production easier and faster because we're using the same body, same chassis, basically, just the guts are going to be different. Yep. So it makes for a quicker production, and they can get vehicles rolling through the assembly line a lot quicker. Yeah, so it's a smart move.
Gives people options.
Gives people options, exactly. I think the other thing I want to talk about too is range on this guy. So it's interesting doing my research from 24 to a 25. The 24s were touting 300-mile range. This guy, the 25, they're touting 294. So what's the 6-mile difference? Right. Did they adjust and figure out maybe it's not really 300 and now they're like, okay, 294 is probably the sweet spot, but gotcha. 294 miles of range on a fully charged battery out of this guy.
Yeah, and I was going to say, so that's on a fully charged. So
that's on a fully charged, so right. Yep.
Obviously, it's recommended don't charge just like an iPhone or a smartphone. Don't charge it all the way to 100% all the time.
Right. 80% is probably the sweet spot for that, and exactly. As you drive, it'll fill in the other 20% basically. Right. So as far as our mile per gallon equivalent, 100 on the city, 85 on the highway. So that's about 93 combined city and highway. So it's, I mean, you're not going to be making any trips to the pump, obviously. So you're going to be saving quite a bit. And 295 miles of range, 94, 95. That's pretty decent for most people. Yeah, so I mean, that's commuting.
People, I was going to say most people just drive to work and home or drop the kids off and then go to work. You know, they're not driving cross country regularly. At least most people aren't. So.
Exactly. And if you did want to take the long trips, that is there for you. Obviously, plan your trips accordingly. As we know, more and more charging stations are becoming available. And this system, how they have everything set up through the Jeep app and all that, it will give you locations for the available charging stations. So I think the company that they work with is Fast to Move, I believe is what it's called, or something along those lines. But either way, you know, this is something that's not going to limit someone. There'll still be that accessibility as if you had an ICE vehicle. So 294 on this guy for your range. So yeah, pretty capable. So as we're moving forward in the future, obviously I think they're going to continue to make electric vehicles, all the manufacturers, and we'll start seeing that range probably start increasing and increasing and increasing. So
yeah, I was going to say we barely scratched the surface. This is still all pretty new.
Yep.
So it's only going to get
I still say it's basically in its infancy, but it's growing really fast. Yeah. This is a fast growing baby.
Yeah, exactly. And if you look at companies like Lucid who are getting, 400 or 500 miles of range.
Right. Yes.
So like if we're capable of that now, what's
what's in the next year, 2 years? Yeah. So it's coming quick. But yeah, I think that's pretty sturdy. I think those are really good specs. I'm excited to see how this thing drives. But before we do that, we're going to take a look on the inside.
Yeah. All right, guys. So here we are headed toward the interior of the Wagoneer S. We'll start here. Looks like we've got some real, I don't know if it's genuine leather, but leather material with some real stitching. That's red stitching that you got there with some piano black details here, followed by this really interesting design. It's like a diamond shape material. It's matte, feels really good. And you'll see that throughout the vehicle as well.
Yeah, they've got diamond everywhere on this car. The wheels got the diamond design. The inside got the diamond design.
Below that, you've got some what looks like polished aluminum that has your LED light bar integrated, which is a really cool touch. And then followed by some more of that leatherette material with the stitching. With your window controls and your door lock controls, that is surrounded in more of that black plastic, piano black plastic. And then here you've got your button to open the door because it is an electric vehicle that's becoming more and more common these days. In an emergency, there is a manual latch here that you can pull to get out.
Yeah, that would come in handy.
Hopefully you never need it. But,
right.
You've got some storage here. Maybe it holds, I wouldn't say it holds a Stanley at all, but a tumbler for sure can go in there. And then you do have your speaker grill here. It is an Alpine system.
Yep.
We'll get into that a little later. But, pretty simple looking, but it looks good. It's well thought out. I like the design of it. And I really do like this diamond detail on there.
Yeah, it's very nice. And I think there's some texture, a little bit of texture to that. So that's really cool.
Yeah. And then coming around to the back seats, the doors do open nice and wide. So if you have a car seat that you have to get in and out, should be pretty easy for you. And then follows the same theme as the front, except it doesn't have that black piano black plastic detail right here. But yeah, same pretty much detail. You've got that textured pattern on there, leather, and your release button. It is pretty roomy. You do have, I think Jeep says you have about 38 inches of legroom in the back seat. So
yeah, that's spacious.
Yeah, you've got a netting for your rear seat pocket, and then you've got a couple of air vents back here. This one does not have the heated seats in the rear, which you would find in like the launch edition. And then it does have 2 USB-C ports in here, so your rear passengers can charge their electronics. But yeah, it's pretty roomy. You've got cup holders here in the center, decently sized. It doesn't go complete. Oh, I guess it does go completely flat.
Little elbow grease.
Yeah. New car problems. Surprisingly, and I guess this kind of speaks to what is coming in the future. Maybe this platform, like I said, does have the capability to have ICE motors as well, which comes with a standard transmission or a typical transmission. So there is a center hump here in the center, which is not common. It's not very intrusive. It's not very big, but it is noticeable.
Yeah.
So your center passenger might have to fight for some leg room. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's well appointed and nice.
Yeah, I love it. This is a really cool interior. Looks like this is called their global black interior.
Yep, that's right.
And the seats, they call that neon ultra with fabric welt. So some kind of, I don't think it's actually full leather. I think it might be some kind of synthetic material.
It is, yeah. It's not actual leather, but
yeah, but it's very nice, very soft.
All right, and then here in the rear, Jeep says you have, I believe, 31 cubic feet of storage cargo space back here, with the back seats up. When you fold them, it stretches all the way to 64 cubic feet of storage space. So it's capable. You can get quite a bit of stuff in there. The only hindrance would be the sloping roof line cuts into your cargo area a little bit. So maybe not as capable as some SUVs. And then in typical Jeep fashion, you do have the button to close the tailgate on the side there. And then, yeah. Same on this door, except obviously you have all of your controls, your mirror controls. The mirrors do power fold. And then what's different on this side is that you do get memory seating. You get memory seating for 2 on this side. But yeah, same storage. Yeah, pretty nice. But yeah, let's hop inside and go over the interior.
Sounds good.
right, those doors sound nice and solid. All right, let's get this bad boy powered up. It's that chime that Jeep does now. It's different. It's not your typical ding, ding, ding. It sounds kind of nice. It's nice and soft.
Yes, I was going to say it's very unintrusive.
Yeah.
It's not obnoxious.
Yeah. As you can see, screens for days. It does not have the passenger screen though. Right here you get some black plastic. It is textured. It has a cool little design on it. And it's different than the piano black. I don't know if the camera picks it up very well, but this one you shouldn't have too many issues as far as like fingerprints go.
Yeah, a little bit easier to keep clean.
Yeah, so it would have been nice, I guess, if they used this in places where they did use the piano black plastic, because I'm a neat freak when it comes to my cars, and fingerprints drive me crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've got the 12.3-inch infotainment screen here. This is their Uconnect 5 system, so it's the most current version of the, obviously. You can control vehicle settings, phone, comfort. You can add and change widgets on the screens, or you can just click it and it brings it up on a full screen for you, which is really cool, convenient. And then you do have some touch-sensitive buttons here. They're not actual buttons, but it is nice to have some dedicated buttons here. This one is for your cameras, which for the most part look good, decent quality. The ones that I would say don't have the best quality are the ones for the blind spot. It's pretty grainy. It's clearly not the same quality that you get on the front and rear facing cameras.
Right.
You have your lane departure here. You can turn that on and off, your traction control. This does have their park assist feature, so it'll basically park the vehicle for you. And then your parking sensors can be turned on and off there. One, I guess, sorry, there's a C7 Corvette driving around here. I want to be mad, but I can't. It's beautiful. There is some redundancy here. So I do have it here on comfort on the main infotainment screen, where you can control your heated seats, your heated steering wheel, your climate control can be turned on and off there. Which is weird because they have this 10.25-inch screen that is dedicated climate control.
Yeah, I think this second screen is completely unnecessary.
Yeah, so I'm like, either make this your climate control for all of your climate control
and your seats, right? Yep.
Or just get rid of that and keep this. And it's even more redundant because your heated seat and your ventilated seats and your heated steering wheel controls are dedicated buttons on the side.
Yeah.
So I don't see the need for all of that. It's unnecessary. It's now getting to the point where they're putting screens in the car for the sake of
putting screens in the car. It's just more things to break, right? It's more things for something to go wrong and cost you a lot of money to get fixed.
Right. So yeah, that's, I guess, call it nitpicky, but it's just why.
You know? I think at some point they're going to have a separate warranty for all these screens and pads and things they're putting in these cars right now.
Yeah, no kidding. It's getting kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
And this doesn't have the passenger screen,
right?
Like I mentioned. If it did, then we would have a total of 45 inches.
Yeah,
of screen
that's insane.
Which is
that's crazy.
Class leading. Like no other vehicle has that amount of in this class at least. Here you have another 12.3-inch cluster screen here. Where you get all your driver information. It is somewhat customizable, so you can set it up however you want. You can check messages, shows you what music's playing, stuff like that. Your safety features can show up there as well. It's nice. I mean, it works well. It's not very laggy. You press something and something happens, which is nice. I will say the steering wheel overall feels really good, and I do like the Wagoneer logo here on the steering wheel. It looks classy, it looks nice, upscale.
Yep.
But then you have these cheap little plastic
little dinky buttons.
Yeah. So it's like, which is it? Are we luxury or are we not?
Yeah.
But yeah.
One day it'll get there.
That's my
I'm just waiting for the day when these buttons are digital.
Some of them are on some cars.
I was gonna say, because that's coming.
Yeah.
If it's not here already, yeah.
And I believe on the Range Rover, which a lot of people may or may not compare this to, they are
digital.
Digital buttons on No head-up display on this, which I think needs to be standard. I guess that'd just be another screen. But at nearly $70,000, where this is spec'd, you start to expect certain things.
Yep.
And this is lacking that. You do get it on some upper trims. The launch edition, does have the head-up display. So, and then you've got like headlight controls here, along with the button to release the front and your parking brake. No digital mirror in this one. That is an option on some trims. And then you've got your sunroof controls. It does have the large panoramic sunroof, which is really nice.
Yeah, that is really nice. I like how that goes down into line of your rear window in the back.
Yeah,
that's
so it
really
almost
cool.
Seems like
it's one piece.
which is really cool. But yeah, and I will never have a car that doesn't have a sunroof, so this is
perfect for you. Yep.
So overall, it's a very nice interior. It's very well appointed. Again, you do have that textured material here. It doesn't show fingerprints, which I love. I would worry about it getting all scratched up. It seems like it would hide scratches pretty well, but you never really know. And then this is a really cool touch. You've got a metal dial, so even though it's an electric vehicle, you can still alternate through the gears, which is really nice. Kind of gives you that traditional SUV feeling. And then you've got your drive mode selector down here, which is just a little toggle switch. So you got sand, snow, eco, auto, and sport.
Nice. 5 drive modes.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah. And I don't know if we showed this.
Oh yeah, under the other screen.
that useless climate control screen.
Yes.
Does move up and give you some additional storage here, which is pretty deep. I was surprised by how deep that is.
Yep.
With 2 USB-C ports in there.
Yep. Yeah, so basically the buttons we see here now should be here, or they have them here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So I know I'm just gonna have to get over it, I guess.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Like, why?
Can't change it now.
But yeah, that's the interior of the Jeep Wagoneer S.
Awesome, Kay. Great taking us through the interior. This is a very nice, sleek vehicle. Oh, let's talk about the audio system real quick. It's a 9-speaker Alpine audio system. I think it has an 8-inch subwoofer.
Yeah, that's what I read.
500 watts, so pretty decent sound.
Yeah, I mean, in the launch edition, you do get the Macintosh 1200 watt system with 19 speakers. So I love music, so that would be the direction I go.
Yes.
I mean, Alpine's good. It sounds solid.
Yeah.
But if you don't really care about the quality of the music, then it's fine.
Yeah.
But if you're an audiophile, you'll definitely want to step up to the
Macintosh for sure. Most definitely.
And then I just noticed something that I want to bring up, and it just speaks to the part sharing that's going on between brands here.
Yes.
The hazard light is akin to the one that you see in the Daytona Charger. Even the surround
of it. Yep. The same. Yep. Same style.
Yep. So it's like Fratzog without the Fratzog.
Yep.
I do like the vents. They're nice and sleek.
Yep.
Very stylish looking. And they feel like they could have spent a couple more dollars for a better material. But,
yeah, a lot of the brands I think are going to more of this hidden look. I know I've started noticing that in the newer BMWs. Probably at least since 2024, I think is when they switched over to their new platform they're on now. But yeah, they're trying to do this like kind of integrated hidden HVAC system, so you're not really seeing your.
I will say I do like Honda has been doing that for a few years now, and I say it looks really good in the Hondas with their honeycomb style. I guess grill that you would call it. Looks really good. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got for you.
Awesome, dude. Well, what do you say we now do the fun part?
Yeah, let's drive it.
Let's take it out for a little spin and see how it feels. It's 500 horsepower.
Let's do it.
All right, man. Let's do it. All right, man. Let's get this out on the road. Take it for a quick little jog and see what she feels like. I think I am mainly just going to focus on the power transfer and auto mode and sport mode, and just kind of see if there is any sort of noticeable difference.
So the only two modes that matter to me.
And this, of course, only has 2 levels of max or regions of braking, minimum and maximum. I believe, remember on the Charger, I think it had 3 levels.
Yeah, it had 3. And it on the Charger, you can control the region with the paddle shifters that are on the steering wheel, but there are no paddle shifters.
Yes. Nope. So this one is just your standard. This one is just your standard volume and your radio stations that you can adjust with the button back here, but this has no paddle shifters on this guy.
If you're not familiar with Jeep, they have their stereo controls on the back of the steering wheel. Just so you know.
Yep. Which I can see that getting a little crazy, confusing if you're not used to it all the time.
Yeah, it took some getting used to for me when I got my Jeep, but you get used to it really quickly. And then it's like you expect to feel it in every car, and it's not.
So far we are just in auto mode. That's obviously the standard mode the vehicle starts in, just regular driver mode. I'm gonna just try to, got to go up here to the light and I'll turn back around and get to more of an open area where I can kind of punch it. Just because we are in a little bit busier motorplex today. So I don't want to go too crazy because there are cars everywhere. But the ride feels soft. It's very quiet in here. It's not loud. Not a lot of road noise at all, at least. So just in that little turn, that's pretty quick. We're already at 60, 69, 70 miles an hour. And then it just coast. I do got to give it some brake here.
Like racing for my life.
And now I'm just coasting. Coasting, 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 coasting. Railroad tracks, that was pretty smooth.
Soaked it up nicely.
We've got McPherson struts on the front, so those are really good suspension strut setup. I know that those are really popular brand. They have a good reputation. So this vehicle is set up to give you an amazing ride already. And I think the rear suspension is the integral link rear suspension. So that helps with improved stability and handling. Yeah, you can have some fun with this.
Yeah.
You can definitely get your spirited driving on just in auto mode. This vehicle is fun to drive, and it feels very light. Doesn't feel heavy at all.
It's the weirdest thing to be going so fast so quickly.
Yes, instant.
And not hear anything.
Not hear anything. You just kind of hear the whirring, basically, of the motors. All right, so I'm going to put it in sport mode now.
Race myself.
So sport mode takes traction control off. I'm also going to turn on max regen for the braking. Look at how aggressive that is when I take my foot off the accelerator.
Well, almost a complete stop.
Yeah. Much more than the minimum. The minimum, I still had to put on my brakes. Obviously, I was going a little bit faster,
right,
but I still had to engage the brake pedal. But on this max, it's like instantaneous.
Wow.
Okay, so we're going to go back down here now. But I can feel 2 things being in sport mode. And I don't know if it's... Let me get it back into the min real quick. I feel like it got a little tighter, a little stiffer. But then also when you put it in the max for the regen, you feel that instantly kind of grab you too already. Yeah. So then it makes it a tighter drive. So let's get down here. And we'll take this little cul-de-sac and turn around and kind of do that little loop again. and see what she feels like in sport mode. I can already tell you this is going to be quick.
Mm-hmm.
Just getting a little air in here too because it's getting a little warm. All right. So we are in sport mode. We're just going to take our little loop again. And when it's safe to do so, we'll punch it a little bit, see what she feels like. But just with, again, sport mode, with the regenerative braking on max, the handling is so different. Just because you already feel the vehicle wanting to grab to initiate that regenerative braking. I'm gonna have to try that max regen on auto too, so I'll try that after we do this run real quick just to see if it kind of feels the same. Because honestly, I would probably drive this with max regen all the time. I just like the way it feels. All right, good to go. Okay. We are doing 41 right now, and I'm going to punch it.
Holy smoke.
78. And I am going to engage the actual brake pedal just because I was going a little bit faster there. Come out of the roundabout. Yeah, that's no joke. You can easily get up to 90, 100 miles an hour, no problem. And then this is pure just regen. It's already down to 40. So I already went from 80 down to 40. So that cut it in half really quick. Wish we had an actual timer to time how fast that did that. Going over the tracks again. So let's do men on sport mode here real quick. You feel the vehicle kind of loosen up now. You kind of feel like you have can have a little bit more control of the vehicle because it's not as tight. And I'm still in sport mode, which also automatically turns off your traction control too, by the way.
Makes sense.
Still quick, just not as grabby, but still really quick. All right, we're going to turn on in here. Yeah, I think if you wanted to have some real fun driving in sport mode in minimum regen, because you would have to really have control of the car. Max regen, I think the car gives a little bit more control of itself because it does get tighter. If we put it back in auto, just real quick too, just go into max. So now that's max. Traction control is also back on. So we're in auto mode and just kind of see how this feels. In auto mode, it doesn't feel as tight as it does in sport mode. So I definitely think between auto mode, sport mode, and your regenerative braking, you can definitely accomplish different driving feels with this car, depending on how fun you want to be. Yeah, guys, we're going to take this roundabout just one more time. Kay, what are your impressions feeling the vehicle in the back? I know I was, doing a little fast, not just like your regular drive.
Right now, my feelings are a little car sick. But no, it's comfortable. It's I mean, I did hear some rattling earlier, but I think that's just because there are those mats and everything in the back.
Yeah.
But it seems very solid. The seats are very, very comfortable. Yeah, I think it's a nice place to be, for your passengers.
Mm-hmm.
think this car would impress
Yeah,
anybody.
yeah, yeah. Definitely very smooth, very comfortable ride. It doesn't pick up a lot of the nuances in the road. Yeah, it's soft, I guess, if that's a word you want to use. Even going over the railroad tracks wasn't that bad. Um, that handles really well. All right, guys, so we're going to park this baby back here in line, here in the lot, along next to some other ones here, and then we'll give our final thoughts. We'll see you guys in a little bit.
All right, T, you drove it. What do you think?
Yeah, man. I really like the feel of this SUV. This Wagoneer S. It rode really nice. It's very smooth. It's very quick. For me, though, personally, if this is something that I would own, have in my garage, I'm still a ways out from going fully electric or even hybrid. I definitely still prefer my ICE motors, but this is definitely way faster than my Tacoma. So this would be a nice complement to that, because it does give me that thrill and that fun, spirited driving that I enjoy every now and again. So for that purpose, I think anyone that gets this, they won't be disappointed. You will not be disappointed.
Yeah, I love it. I think I could definitely see myself driving it, especially in this sharp blue color.
Yeah, the blue is really nice.
Like it stands out from the crowd for sure.
Yeah.
And then I think they nailed it on the styling. They nailed it on the performance aspect of it, even though it's not a performance vehicle. You can still have some fun with it, which I appreciate. I did have a issue with the tires, but I think the tires are fine. They're good enough for what you're going to use it for most of the time.
Right.
But other than that, I love it. The interior is really nice. I think the second climate control screen is completely useless.
Agree. Yeah, that's the one thing about the interior that I would definitely get rid of. It is completely unnecessary. And then if they did have that passenger screen in there too, that's just too much. That's just overkill. But you know, whatever. First world problems. It is what it is, right?
Yep.
But yeah, overall, guys, you know, let us know what you guys think. Comment down below. We love hearing feedback from you on the vehicles. Would you own one? Why not? Just your overall impressions of the Wagoneer S. What do you guys think? Do you think there's a place for this in the market? Is this where the market's going? Also, for anyone out there, we wanted to thank again Brandon Dodge in Loveland, Colorado. We really appreciate them working with us. So
yeah, shout out to Paul.
Yep, shout out to Paul. So if there's anyone interested in the vehicle, we will put his contact information down below. And you can email them any inquiries on any of their Stellantis products they have here, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram, if you're interested in buying something.
Yeah, I mean, they've got plenty of Chargers, Jeeps, whatever you're looking for, they have it here.
Yep, they have a great selection, awesome colors too.
Yeah, be sure to check them out. But I don't have anything else to add, T.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to add either. I think we're going to close this out. Thank you guys again. We really appreciate you all. Thanks for supporting our channel. And until next time, we'll catch you on the road.